Okay, peace. This your brother Tariq back with the A1 podcast, you know what I mean? Finally got my little soundboard working, so go ahead and play our little opening. Yeah, it's generic. We ain't get no music yet, you know what I mean? Waiting for one of y'all to go ahead and send us a song or something, man, an opening, man, that describe what we do here in this community. But I feel bad for my people on Spotify and all that, cause they can't hear that, but it's cool, whatever. But as we continue to step our game up over here on the A1 podcast, you know what I mean? Look out for the merch. We're gonna start selling some merchandise. It's gonna be a few shirts. It's gonna start off with a few shirts and maybe a few hats or whatever with our logos. You know what I mean? And I want to start advertising some of the home-based businesses that we have here in this community, especially the ones that's here, anchored in North Carolina. You know what I mean? And as we grow as a community, want to be able to refer you guys to people in your hometown, your home state, or whatever. So, without further ado, we got a lot to cover since the last time I was able to sit down and fill y'all in on a few things. You know what I mean? That was a nice episode, especially seeing that my son, my seed, my offspring was able to sit here with me and articulate a few things on his brain, or see how he thought about some of the current things that were going on in society right now, right? But we have a lot to talk about. We got a lot to unpack, you know what I mean? And it's always so much to talk about, but we're not able to really, go too deep into it. Like we basically touching on it from the surface level because most of you guys have never heard of these things, or you heard of some of this stuff in passing glance, right? And it's one of those things that I was thinking that we need to get back to, just staying informed of what's going on around us. Because even if we don't, we're not directly invested in what's happening, all of that, everything that happens out here affects us all. And I think that's something that we need to be able to overstand so that we'll be able to react. No, excuse me. We'll be able to plan better instead of just sitting here and reacting to outside stimulus. You know what I mean? So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and hop right into it. This is the weekend of the 4th of July, right? It was a lot to unpack, man. The first thing I need to go ahead and make sure that I let you guys know that, like I said, always, I don't have all the answers on this journey we call life, you know what I mean? And if you join me on this journey we call life, hopefully we can grow together, become greater. And with that said, while we're sitting here in this wilderness called North America, all you indigenous people, I need you guys to understand something, right? They said it was 150 people shot throughout this wilderness called North America, or i.e. the Corporation of the United States, in 400 separate shootings since the start of the 4th of July weekend. And and at first glance, it just sounds like, man, it's getting crazy outside. People getting crazier. You can't trust people. But then when you sit down and unpack it and think about it, no, that's not what's happening at all. First of all, most of these people don't have no jobs. They have no real way of supporting themselves, right? And let's say you want to get a job, right? The average place in your neighborhood where you probably used to could go and get a job and make a decent living is no longer in business or hiring. Because you got to remember, we're in a pandemic where most of these people were working at these companies, or most of these companies closed their doors forever. just here in Charlotte, there's been about 3 to 5 staples. I mean, businesses that were here in North Carolina before I even moved to North Carolina, right? That were community, just that was a part of the community. They have shut down after 20, 30, 40, and 50 years in business because of the pandemic. So think about all those people in the community, right? I'm just taking this community as an example. All the people that were able to go to places like that and find decent employment to sustain themselves, right? They can no longer, people in that, in those circumstances can no longer look to a place like that to find employment because these places no longer exist, right? So then you gotta multiply that by every city, every state, you know what I'm saying? Like, it goes without saying, yeah, people are starving. And then they were already talking about how the CDC's eviction ban ends at the I think they said it ends in the end of July 30th. You know what I'm saying? I think each state has made their own decision on whether they're going to extend it or cut it. But at the same time, the federal government is talking about they're not going to evict people. But understand, if you think we in a bond right now, or if you think crime is bad right now, what do you think is going to happen once they go ahead and remove that ban and put all these people out? You know what I'm saying? And trust and believe, I get it. I get it as a homeowner and a property owner. The bond situation you're in, because the same banks that got the bailout for fucking us over in 2008, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac or whatever the hell their names is, Chase and all them big boys, they still want their money and they expect you to pay. They expect you to pay. If not, they'll take you to court. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing stopping the government from taking you to court to take that land back from you, which you purchased with your hard-earned money, right? So it's really just a big quagmire that they don't want you to figure out what's going on. Everybody's pretty much getting the shaft all the way around, whether it's the tenants or the homeowners, right? Tenants are getting shaft because they're saying, yo, you need to get off unemployment and go find a job. First of all, the jobs that you disrespectful ass people are talking about is working at McDonald's making minimum wage. Now, minimum wage in some places, like here in North Carolina, is still $7.50. Where the hell can you live for $7.50? Shit, what fucking adult bill can you have for $7.50? There isn't none. You know what I'm saying? So that they're not dealing with the reality, because these are the same people that create inflation and give themselves a raise every year but never give you a raise. And then they act like they're the moral authority on what's going on out here. So yes, I can believe there was 400 shootings and 150 people got shot over the weekend. I can believe that, because it's a lot of shit going on. You know what I'm saying? I remember it was like 2 months ago when it was a high school basketball teacher got caught in a shootout out here, and he got killed going to rob the stash house of some MS-13 cats. And everybody was acting like, oh, he's a high school teacher. How could he? Because he don't make shit. You see what I'm saying? Can you understand that? Like, you got people working, and the phrase check the check is a real thing. So as people miss checks or whatever, if you look around, I don't care what state, what city you're in, the homeless population is growing everywhere. You see what I'm saying? And so what do you think is going to happen? It's just going to keep getting worse. So people is out here on some kill or be killed. You know what I mean? Shit, you owe me $200. I got you. Nah, you going to give me this $200 right now. And that's where we at. But it's you would think it's chaos, but my bad. It's controlled chaos. See what I'm saying? That's why it's planned. It's a pandemic. That was part of the plan from the whole beginning, population control. You feel what I'm saying? But, like I said at the beginning, man, we can go down the rabbit hole on this, and I wouldn't even get to half the rest of the stuff I got going on over here. You feel me? But that's something for you to think about, man. Stop letting them tell you that the people around you is just crazy. They're making you appear crazy. And I digress. I'm going to fall back off that one because I got more later in this episode, that make that clear of how they make shit appear, right? So, other news, your man Jeff Bezos just stepped down from Amazon as the CEO, right? He's getting ready to go on his Blue Horizons maiden voyage into the, into outer space, right? Did you know that there's online petitions of over 60,000 people that believe once he get his ass up there in outer space, he should not come back? That's some cold shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like we don't think you should be even here on Earth with us. That's wild. But I just thought that was funny. You know what I mean? Mind you, his wife left him and took half his money. Now people don't want him back on the planet. That's wild shit. But other news, there was a police chief in some part of Ohio, right? This guy is mad because he got fired. Said people took everything out of context and was, blowing things out of proportion. Because this dumbass goes on a camera, closed circuit camera, in the police precinct, prints up KKK letters, and put them on the lone black, indigenous officers' raincoat. All caught on camera and walks off and act like it was just a joke. That ain't a joke, especially in this day and time. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, need a little bit of water. Got a lot going on. Yeah. But with that said, it's a lot going on right now. And it's funny that people seem to forget that. Not too long ago, we was already talking about how the FBI back in 2002 been said that all the police departments were infiltrated by KKK and white supremacy groups, right? You know what I'm saying? But everybody brushed that off like it was some bullshit. When do the FBI just make reports about bullshit? If you grew up in the hood and you know what I'm saying, AKA the urban environment, you know that when they say the feds, and the feds start talking about some shit, 9 times out of 10 they got some shit. Cause they don't just start talking about shit to be talking about shit. You see what I'm saying? And they said this back in 2002. It is 2021. The fuck? They just told you this. They said it again after the Charlottesville riot when that young lady got ran over by that skinhead's car. You feel what I'm saying? Like this is nothing new, but then when he says it, everybody's like, oh, it's just one bad apple. It's just one bad apple out of all these other people. Not just one bad apple, man. It's a bad system. You know what I mean? And it's rotten away at the core. But it's deeper than that because these cats, they about to be their own undoing, and you don't even see it. You don't even know it. As that Montana song goes, you ain't even know it. But at the same time, a lot of us are going to go down with them because we on some reactionary shit. And that's what I meant by stop being reactive and be proactive. That's why we gotta be aware of what's going on. And that's what the whole point of this channel was. It's about information, knowing yourself, knowing your situation, right? So you can stop being bombarded and, caught off guard with the the ever-changing times. Shit ain't never gonna be the same. It's never gonna be like it used to be. Like, even before all this pandemic, you gotta think, there's people who always wanted it to go back to like how their parents was, or back how it was in the 60s, or back how it was in the 70s or 80s. Those times are gone. You have to understand this is an ever-evolving, complex plan by the gatekeepers and the power elite to gain more and more power and more control over you. So, I need y'all to shape up and smarten up, you know what I mean? joke is on us. You know what I mean? But that was just some food for thought. You know what I mean? You know, these guys and gals, they're all throughout the military and police. You know what I mean? It's funny because I was watching, I was flicking through the news, and there was some guy from the Space Force, and he was talking about critical race theory and how it's destroying the last one pure place we have in America that's not touched by racism, the military. Get the fuck out of here. Sorry, bro. Like, just get the fuck out of here. Where have you been? You feel what I'm saying? Just as bad as the French president trying to tell everybody that, oh, BLM is causing people to choose sides in Paris and France. They're starting to choose races again. No, motherfucker, they've been going through it. You're just now seeing it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's funny how people in the legal classification as white, right? The legal standings, you know, seem to think that there's not a class system here. But if you went to India and you talked to the red dots and the black dots, you can clearly see the difference, right? Why? Because they got fucking dots on their head. Now it's the same thing. It's not even exactly the same, even though it's a legal term, but it's pretty much for the most part the same. You know, if you're Caucasian, you get the legal classification as white, and if you're melanated, it's hard not to get that legal classification as black. But you know, there's plenty of channels out there like Dan Calloway and who was I rocking with this morning? Damn, the brother's name escapes me, but I've been messing with him for a minute. Seda Ducateers, and a lot of people speak on the fact that, you know, by being melanated, you know, doesn't necessarily classify you as black. They want to have the indigenous people to this wilderness of North America classified as black. And, you know, it's a legal term. It's not a people, it's not a race, it's not an ethnicity, you know what I mean? But we'll go deeper into that when I get, you know, some more people on, and we're gonna build on that. Want to get my man Tone on, but he be ducking me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna reach out to a few other brothers, and we go ahead and I'll let them go ahead and bang you in the head over that. But yeah, it's just, you know, it's just something. That's another thing we got to be proactive in. We got to be careful of the titles and the way we describe ourselves to people, because it's not the melanin, it's the legal title you're giving yourself. You know what I mean? But yeah. So other news, I'm getting ready to go to my, you know, around 9 to 5, whatever. And I'm watching the news as I'm brushing my teeth, right? And it's this thing called national news that comes on here in the morning. I used to hate it, but sometimes it has stories that I don't find nowhere else, right? And it had this story about this house that was being burnt out, like it was set on fire, right? Some arson. And you know, as the firefighters went inside to put the blaze out, they found out that there was 4 people in there. But the 4 people had been shot. They had all been shot in the head, right? So with them people being shot in the head, it's like, okay, so what happened to them? Who shot them? You know what I'm saying? And the problem for me was, it was one man and his 4 children. Well, excuse me, his 3 children, right? One grown child, one teenage, almost grown child, and a younger child, adolescent child. All 4 of them were shot and murdered in their own home, and the house was set on fire. Now, you know, that's bad, that's fucked up. You don't wish that on nobody, right? But the fact that they were Caucasian, the news then wonder what he did to have somebody come into their house, kill him, kill his kids, and set the home on fire. To me, where I come from, that sounds like he did something. He violated somebody in some type of way. Now, the ill part was for me with the news, they was like, yeah, his preacher came and said, out of all the things that could have happened, I couldn't imagine that. Like, why the fuck they bring his preacher out there? They brought his preacher out there to try to make him look like, he was an angel and he couldn't have never did nothing wrong. And I can't see why anybody would do this to him. Obviously, this man was into some shit that you wasn't thinking. You know what I'm saying? Same way that basketball coach, that Asiatic man who went to rob the stash house got killed, and people couldn't understand why he would do something like that. It's the same reason why you wouldn't understand how somebody ran in that man's house in the middle of the night and killed him. Just saying. Now, moving on, I read something again and RT about 182 indigenous school children remains found by the Roman Catholic Church school, and that was responsible for those children in the region. Now this is like the fourth story about one of these schools or churches from the Roman Catholic Church that killed all these indigenous people, in Canada, on just across the border over here in the great North American wilderness, right? But nobody's bringing charges against this church. They basically ethnically cleansed Canada. They wiped out all those indigenous people. That's 182 on this one. It was 200 and something another one. It was 100 and something another one, and so on and so on. So it's like, no matter where they're at, in British Columbia or wherever, when they get around these schools and they start digging around and they find all these dead school children. You see what I'm saying? But because it's them, it's like, because the Roman Church, you give them like a type of fucking immunity. Remember, these are the same people that raped all those fucking kids. They did a little quiet settlement for like 190 mil. And that was supposed to be okay. Like, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers are still out here, wanting altar boys and other crazy shit. Under those preachers, name one priest from that scandal that got locked up. If you can get in the comment section, name one priest from that got locked up. You know what I'm saying? I'll come on here and issue a retraction and say I stand corrected. But there hasn't been one. Feel me? Nor will there be one. No matter who comes forward or whatever, they cap it. And that segues into my next story, right? Is all this child abuse going on from the Roman Catholic Church. Remember, the Boy Scouts of America came out and they was molesting little kids too. The other day, they settled an $850 million sex abuse lawsuit. Now, mind you, there's a Boy Scout chapter damn near in every city and every state, right? Think about how many kids they fucking assaulted. You feel what I'm saying? Nobody's even, like 850 million, it sounds like a lot, but it ain't shit. It's probably about 800 million kids they done touched. It's as bad as the Catholic Church. Shit, they probably go hand in hand. You know what I mean? But y'all thought I was playing when I kept saying to you guys that this perversion and the sickness these people got is rampant in the society, man. These teachers and these coaches and fucking police people and fucking nurses and all that, and preachers and priests and nuns or whatever the fuck. Yeah, they all sick, man. It's a lot of sick people here, man. They really into abusing these children. You know what I mean? I'm gonna use my little word, because that's just sick. And I'm not saying, but I'm just saying I think they all deserve a little. Just saying. But, this is why you gotta keep your kids close, man. You can't just be a part of society and send your kids off to go to dance or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Just drop them off at the coach house, let them spend the night with the coach. You can't trust these people, man. They all have sick agendas. It may seem innocent, but it might be something more sinister, man. Till my kids is big enough to fight back, they ain't going with nobody. They ain't staying in the White House. That's just me. Now, on to the next one. This one's funny. You know what I mean? It's like, it's mad ill because of the source, right? So I got this from reading about Fox News, right? Yeah, that Fox News, right? And the reporter was Tucker Carlson, right? That's crazy. Tucker Carlson, with his wild ass, was talking about, how they were talking about all these immigrants coming in at the border, right? And Border Patrol and some of the bus drivers started reporting like, yo, when they would round the immigrants up at the border, they didn't bring them to no checkpoints. They stopped bringing them to checkpoints, and they wasn't sending them back. They would have these big coach buses come, and they would pack the bus full of people. And then they would just send the buses in different directions, going to different cities. Some to Atlanta, some to North Carolina, some to Tennessee, you know what I'm saying? Some to Nebraska, as far away as New York, as far away as Philadelphia. They just changing the population, or the, dare I say, the demographic of a metropolitan area, unbeknownst to the constituents, you feel me? Because at the end of the day, this was some sneak shit. It's so ill that Tucker Carlson was reporting on it, and they had the video that he had of them getting on the bus blocked out. You can hear him talking, but they put something over it so you couldn't see what the fuck was going on. And then it's so ill because they said after the bus drivers started reporting on them, they started using airplanes. Like, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? We gonna do what we gotta do. And this is your man Joe Biden, Joe Beasley, you know what I mean? A piece of shit, fucking, but he's another one of pedophiles too. For real, like at the same time, you notice how you don't hear nothing more about Jeffrey Epstein's old lady? She been in there for like a year. She got all the receipts on all them cats. Biden too. You don't hear nothing more about her? Let's segue right into my next thing. You notice who we did hear about? Mr. Jello Pudding Pop himself. Bill Cosby's home, you know what I'm saying? Bill Cosby's home, you know what I mean? And I give him a round of applause because I didn't think that he should have been locked up in the first place. And here's why, because there's a few of you on the other side of the camera now mad, yelling, oh, I can't believe you sticking up for him, he's an animal. When did he become an animal? Because he was accused of something? One, he was never found guilty of anything. And now that his conviction is overturned, which he should have never been convicted in the first place, with him being an elderly man, he could have fucked around and died in there. You know what I'm saying? But with him being an elderly man, he should have never been convicted in the first place, not because he was elderly, but because they was violating his rights. When you get immunity from, when you do a settlement, this is how the law works. And when you do a settlement, and a condition of the settlement is immunity, and then the prosecutor asks you these questions that lead you to incriminate yourself, right? Even under immunity, those statements cannot be used against you, and that case cannot be retried. The fact that I hear y'all, it was 50 women that came forward and said he did whatever. Out of 50 cases, 49 of them got dismissed because a lot of them was just money grab. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's whatever. But I'm going to get to that part about you not want to believe it in a second. But whether you want to believe it or not, it's whatever, right? The court of law is the court of law. 49 of those women, straight, case thrown out. They could try to bring it back, but 9 times out of 10, it's going to get kicked before they even get to court because the shit is baseless. You're not going to tell me, I don't give a damn if it's Bill Cosby, I don't give a fuck if he's Sidney Poitier, I don't give a damn who he is. He could be Barack Obama, right? If you if you're raping white women, it doesn't matter who you are as an indigenous man, a man of color, i.e. the status of black. You do anything to one of these women, your ass is going to jail, and they're going to destroy you, your career, and your good name. So let's deal with that. It doesn't matter if it was fucking 1960, that's even worse. You're going through apartheid over in the motherland, and over here you got Jim Crow, and you got all the freedom riders and bus. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, people were getting killed back then just for even kissing a white woman. Emmett Till got killed just because the white woman lied and said that, the Caucasian woman lied and said that he whistled at her. They dragged that little boy out of the house in the middle of the night. And you telling me one motherfucker with some money means something to who? Mean nothing to no fucking body. Especially not them motherfuckers. So go ahead and miss me with that shit. Second, so the one he supposedly got convicted of and overturned was one that was double jeopardy from the start. He settled with this girl. There was no way in hell she was supposed to be able to come back on him again, because she violated the terms of that settlement, and she should have had to give, and there should be a way where she should owe him that money back because she breached the fucking settlement, right? Two, he should, I think I heard he might be able to sue the state of Pennsylvania, which he should, because at the end of the fucking day, there's no way he should have went to jail in the first place because the case was already closed. It was already sealed, right? But let's get back to the court of law, right? Whether he's innocent or guilty. Obviously, if that's the one that he settled, he's innocent. And let me break something down to you super feminists and Asiatic man haters. First of all, because I settled something doesn't make me guilty. All right? What you're fighting for is the name that you built. Your name is a part of your legacy, right? It's what your name signs checks before you even walk into a room. So out of all these years this man spent in entertainment, painting a positive light for us, whether, behind closed doors you got an issue with him or whatever, like, some actors say he's an asshole. I'm pretty sure there's some people that say I'm an asshole. There's probably some people that say you're an asshole, you know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that you're not a person of integrity and self-respect. You know what I'm saying? That you don't go out here and try to set a good example for the young men and women coming behind you, right? So with that being said, your name is very important. You know what I'm saying? That's why you can sue people for defaming your name. Somebody calls you a liar in the right context in front of the right people, even though they just talking shit, you can fucking sue them legally. Oh, you're a thief. Motherfucker, I ain't never stole nothing in my life. I'm gonna sue you. Yeah, whatever, because people become so accustomed to just talking shit. But yeah, you can sue a motherfucker for some shit like that. It's called defamation of character. So yeah, I will settle for that when you're $400 million strong, or however much, where you have enough money to go ahead and turn around and tell your boss, man, how much you want for this company? I'm gonna buy it. See, y'all keep forgetting about that. And yeah, it's cute to go ahead, we just spouting conspiracy theories, but y'all used to say the same thing about us when we dealing with these racist ass motherfucking race soldiers. When they catch you, ain't nobody paying attention how you get your ass whooped. Now everybody got these motherfucking phones. Now you see how people getting their ass whooped and how motherfuckers is getting done. So miss me with the bullshit. And then with the Me Too movement, let's go ahead and unpack it all the way. How come he's the only one that got arrested? There was supposed to be like over 200, 300 people out against Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein got convicted in New York State. Is that motherfucker locked up? Thought he's home on parole, awaiting trial in California too. Or how about let's deal with the fact that fucking Oprah Winfrey tried to make a movie about the chicks who accused fucking Russell Simmons after she called this man her friend. Then on top of that, nobody says nothing about one of the main accusers, right? The most vocal one, the one that made everybody believe that this man this Buddhist, right, is a monster. Amanda Seales said that he raped her. She said somebody else raped her. All of a sudden, it comes out that she was lying about one of them, that she's lying about both of them. But yet, this chick is on daytime TV. Nobody's talking about this. But yet, Bill is a fucking monster. Get the fuck out of here. Then the girl said 3 times. One he gave me the pills in my hand. One he told me how to take the pills. But then he slipped her the pills and fucked her while she was unconscious. Come on. You know what I'm saying? The whole point was to destroy this man's name and his legacy. And let's break this down even further. How you gonna have an indigenous, dark-skinned, chocolate-colored man being known as America's dad? That shit, come on. Get the fuck out of here, man. Let you know who's public enemy number one always. You get a little money, we'll OJ you. We'll build you up, we'll tear your ass down. And what make it even worse, the most sickening part, this fucking little weirdo Mark Lamont Hill with his crybaby ass always crying. Gonna say he gonna look Judge Joe Brown in the face. Well, you know, figuratively, not literally, because it was a Zoom thing. But he's gonna look at Judge Joe Brown and say, well, yeah, we can all agree that he's innocent legally. But can we say that he's still guilty? Come on, Sway, that don't even make no fucking sense. How you gonna be innocent and guilty? Oh, but he's a monster. How? When did you prove the allegations against this man? You didn't. You didn't. So now his name is forever tainted. Now you he's some old weirdo. But it was never proven that he did that. But y'all forgot about the shit that Marv Albert ass did, right? Running around here in panties, biting chicks and doing all this other little kinky shit. And y'all gonna call him the voice or the broadcaster of our fucking generation. Get the fuck out of here. Let's deal with the fact that they ain't even talking about Deshaun Watson no more, but they're still holding him hostage, right? They said the man got 22 accusers. He got 23 defenders. And not only that, the state of Texas hasn't yet to charge this man with any crime or wrongdoing. Right, I let that sink in. The state of Texas has not charged that man. And the reason why they say they had charged him because chicks said they felt inappropriate or whatever. But then when his lawyer starts going into the stories, it was all bullshit. Most of it is just a money grab. It's a money grab, man. And at the same time, brothers, everybody like, yeah, them brothers are stupid. I wouldn't have da. And listen, let me tell you something. Pretty sure all y'all mothers said the same thing mine said. You gotta watch these chicks. My aunt used to say the same thing. You cannot just give, these females the benefit of the doubt because some of them are colder and more calculated than the toughest men you know. You know what I'm saying? So we got to understand that, overstand that right there. Because this man, his career could fuck around and be over. Because it's going to be one or two things. And it's ill because I was thinking about Tariq Nasheed's buck breaking movie earlier, right? It's going to be one or two things with poor Deshaun, you know what I'm saying? They either going to break him or he's going to stand his ground like Cap and he's going to be out of the league. And we're going to watch Tim Tebow go ahead and come try back out for the NFL again as a defensive end. You know what I'm saying? But it's just kind of sickening, man, to watch how our people, turn on each other real quick in a court of public opinion, especially knowing that the person giving you this information doesn't mean you're good. And at the same time, it's like, that just goes to show the sickness within ourselves with how we don't know each other, let alone ourselves, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of us need one of these. Because it's like some of this shit should be common sense. But as I found in my years of being on this planet, sense is not common because it escapes a lot of you motherfuckers. I mean, just basic common sense is it's not as basic as I once thought it was. People do some of the most asinine shit I can even think of, just because they didn't think about anything else, and they have the nerve. And here's the most fucked up part about it: when you're doing something crazy and somebody call you out on it, instead of just like, man, damn, I don't even know why I was doing that dumb shit. You right, and go ahead and correct the behavior. Motherfuckers double down, right? And you find a way to try to defend that bullshit, and you know it's wrong. You just ain't want nobody telling you it's wrong, right? It's like us going out here still trying to party and club our life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally mean party and club in every sense of the word. I'm not talking about going out and being a socialite and socializing and network to grow a building or a portfolio. Not a building, I meant to say a business. Yeah, but you get where I'm going with this. Motherfuckers going out just for the sake of going out. For random one night stand type shit. Like, we should be past this by now, because it's a lot of shit going on. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of fucked up shit going on, and it's only going to get worse. You know what I'm saying? And as I was highlighting some of this, it's just like, the more I think about it, even as I'm talking, some of you were still stuck on Bill Cosby getting out of jail. And others are still stuck on Dwayne Watson not being in jail. But nobody's talking about all these pedophiles and how the McAfee dude all of a sudden killed himself in the cell with his racist ass by itself after he said, no matter what they say, I would never try to kill myself. But then all of a sudden he kills himself. And they talk about he got mental health problems. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Same thing they about to say about Julian Assange. And they got his ass now, give it 6 months. And he gonna drink bleach or some shit. Who knows? But, you know what I'm saying? That's just the way it goes, man. Like, y'all need to, I can't keep telling y'all what y'all need to do. I just have to keep showing improvement. And I hope that as we keep growing, that you continue to show improve with me. And it's not just on, pretty much, man, it's trying to make ourselves the best rounded versions of ourselves, man. Because at the end of the day, man, we're so far behind the 8 ball, it's going to take the best version of you. And it ain't no fucking part-time job, man. This shit is an everyday thing. The food you eat is poison. The water you drink out your tap is poison. You know what I'm saying? Shit, when they fly them chemtrails over your house, that air you breathe is fucking poison. You know what I mean? But it's there you go with that bullshit again. I'm just saying, man, I just want you to know so you can make informed decisions, man. And I feel like, that's my responsibility here on the planet. And, I feel like if I'm fortunate enough to gain this information, I try to give it to you in a way that you can digest it and eat this food, man, to make yourself stronger, man, so it can be some sustenance for you and your soul and in your life, man. You know what I mean? And when I say man, I'm sorry, sisters, I mean, man as a people. That's that urban shit, right? Say man, but we talking about girls too. I just meant for y'all, us as a people, man, as a group. But yeah, that was pretty much all I wanted to touch on right there, man. And, I just had to get back on it and get back to doing this. I've been crazy busy, but like I said, man, we're trying to get the merch going. We're trying to get an opening song and shit, you know what I mean? Tell me how y'all like my little soundboard. I gotta get used to moving my hand up here to hit the board and shit. I'm smacking the table. I know y'all heard it, because I can hear this shit in the headphones. Shit sound all awkward, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Just don't do one of these on me. But nah, man, as you can see, I believe in what we're doing here. I believe that there's a reason for us to do it. I believe that, for you guys and girls that have been rocking with me, this is our second season, and I'm very appreciative of it. And like as you seen the episode with my son and the first episode with Brother Skills, aka Jay. He came back on, but we was having technical difficulties on that one. And then at my man, rapper Jake Grindin, we had technical difficulties on that one. But I finally got this thing figured out. I got it rolling. So, those episodes, like I said, they ended up being up on Spotify, but they weren't able to be up on YouTube. Now I'm on YouTube. I got this thing, kind of got it figured out, you know what I'm saying, a little bit. And, we're just going to keep adding, man, and trying to grow, you know what I'm saying? And I'm liking where we at, man. I remember I started just recording off my phone, you know what I'm saying, last year. Just recording on the black screen off my phone, you know what I mean? Wasn't ready for y'all to see this face my mama gave me, you feel me? Looking like my daddy's. But, it just wasn't ready at that point in time, but it had to grow like all great things, man, They get better with time, you know what I mean? And, we spending a couple dollars to make this thing a little better, man. We got the nice camera, you know what I'm saying? We got the nice microphones, over here we got enough microphones to have a few guests, more than just one guest. And, we got the soundboard, we're trying to put the intro in, outro in, and maybe have a few talking commercials, you know what I mean? And at the same time, as we get ready to expand into merchandising and things like that. And I want y'all to understand, this ain't something that I just thought about. This is something that me and my partner had talked about for years. We talked about doing this merchandise thing for years. And we also talked about, we used to just joke about this, but it started out as a joke, but I was always pretty serious when I was talking about doing this, you know what I mean? Because I believe that for all of you naysayers and all the people that's not with it, not with the message, even every episode there's a little something in there that's gonna help somebody else out. And like I said, man, I need y'all to, when y'all come in this room, man, I need y'all to hit them likes, man, get them likes up. I need y'all to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed, I need y'all to share, man. I need y'all to go ahead and share with y'all peoples and talk about the content, man. And give me some more feedback, man, and actually be a part of this community. I need you to go ahead and voice your opinions on, the topics, whether you agree, you disagree, you know what I mean? I want this to be a real dialogue because it starts out as a build, you know what I mean? Like, even though I'm giving you actual factual information, of course you got your views on it, you know what I mean? And we all gonna have our views on it because we're all dealing with different forms of this indoctrination that we've been forced on. But at the end of the day, man, it got to start with a build, man, so you can go ahead and build on, we got to build on each one of our own shortcomings to get better, man. And last but not least, man, people been wanting me to do one of these type of manosphere joints where I talk about today's society and where it comes to the dating game, you know what I'm saying? And or lack thereof, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, it's more like motherfucking date websites, man. Y'all swap, y'all like each other, y'all see each other, a little chemistry, y'all smash. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. But nobody really wants to be in an actual relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's just, but I'll get into that, and I want to actually put together two separate shows. I want to do one show with like 2 or 3 females, and I want to do another show, with 2 or 3 fellas, and we just go ahead and get their perspective on that, you know what I'm saying, and maybe that could be something that we do from time to time. I also still trying to get it together where, as I'm coming up on more free time, trying to get together where we go ahead and we fucking, we just go ahead and have a show where sometimes we just go ahead and, talk about current events in a little group. Basically, it's going to be called Shoot the Shit, because that's pretty much what we're going to do. You know what I mean? We're just going to go with what we understand about the situations, the origins of the situation, and, build on it from there, you know what I mean? But we'll probably be, sipping some beer, some shit, or, whatever, smoking cigars or whatever, you know what I mean? Just chopping it up. But yeah, I look forward to that. You know what I mean? And as ill as people be, notice that a lot of people we think serious about a lot of different things. You know what I mean? And you get to catch the serious side of cats even in a light situation. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm looking forward to do. But again, get them likes, hit that share, hit that subscribe, man. Yeah, I gotta get used to this new table too. I'm hitting the table all day. Growing pains, baby, growing pains. But like I said, man, I'm gonna let y'all go. I ain't gonna beat y'all in the head too long on this one. But like I said, man, peace and love, many blessings, man. I hope I leave you in a better place than I found you, and I hope that you learned something. I hope you grew from it, and you know what I'm saying, add on, man. Each one teach one, man. Add on, man. Add something to it, man. You know what I mean? Give us some topics, give us some ideas or some shit you want to talk about, man. Something that we can build on and grow on. You feel me? But as I'm gonna let you go, remember this is a pandemic, and watch out for the new variants. You feel me? They just want to get you shot again. You know what I mean? But that's a whole nother motherfucking, what they call it, rabbit hole. You know what I mean? So peace and love, man. I'm out.